This is the Expositor Devotional for Saturday, September 11th, 2021, from the Expositor's Word for Every Day. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. Romans chapter 8 and verse 23. Romans 8, verse 23. Several things are said in this passage, all of extreme significance to the believer. First of all, we are told here that we only have the first fruits of the Spirit, which refer to the fact that all that Jesus did at the cross is not yet available to us. As stated, we have the first fruits. Everything that man lost in the fall, and everything that Satan did in his revolution against God, which constitutes, or that is, which continues unto this hour, all and without exception were addressed at the cross. Ephesians 1 and verse 10. And to be sure what we now have is more than enough to live as we ought to live and as we ought to be. Of that one can be doubly certain. Second, this passage tells us that the struggle of faith is ever with us while we wait for the redemption of the body, that is, the glorified body. Upon reading the information that Paul gives us regarding the victory in Christ and the cross, many believers immediately sense that in their spirit, that this is right. They set out to anchor their faith exactly as it ought to be anchored, that is, in Christ and the cross, and then immediately run into Satan, which oftentimes results in failure. Many then think that the cross doesn't work. They have been led to believe that from the moment they correctly register their faith, there will never again be another problem. That's not the case at all. While we may fail, the cross never fails. This means that if we, in fact, do fail, and to be sure every one of us will at least in one way or the other, this shows that our faith is deficient. It's never really as strong as we think it is. And even when our faith is strong, we may misunderstand the struggle of this conflict. Let's give an example of the Old Testament. The Lord told Moses that he was to inform Pharaoh that the children of Israel must be released from Egyptian bondage. Moses obeyed the Lord. However, Pharaoh didn't budge. It didn't matter what the Lord had said. Moses had to appear before Pharaoh 7 times, demanding the release of the children of Israel. Exodus 5, verses 1 through 2. Just because your faith is properly anchored doesn't mean the evil one is going to fold and buckle. Satan will try your faith just as Pharaoh tried the faith of Moses and Aaron. Second, instead of letting the children of Israel go, Pharaoh doubled their burden. He supplied the straw, and they made the brick. Now they must supply their own straw and continue to make just as many bricks as before. Exodus 5, 4 through 13. Once your faith is properly anchored, Satan may very well double the temptation against you. However, the Lord will only allow that to last for a period of time. Faith must be tested, and great faith must be greatly tested. If you, dear listener, fail, as most of us do, you should ask the Lord to forgive you, get back up, and start back on your course. The difference in now and before is that you are on the right hand of the road. Victory will ultimately be yours. Before, that definitely was not the case. Because of the extra workload, the Israelites began to turn against Moses and Aaron. Exodus 5, verses 19 through 23. To be sure, the possibility definitely exists that some of our Christian friends and even some of our Christian relatives will turn against us. Why? The message of the cross exposes the flesh, false doctrine, even everything that opposes Christ. Therefore, it arouses the hostility of the natural man, Christian or no. This will be the unkindest cut of all. But if you stay the course of the cross, victory most definitely will be yours, a victory unparalleled. Moreover, Romans 8 and verse 23 also points to the time that is coming when the struggle will be completely over, and we will be with Christ with a glorified body. That time is closer now than ever. The Expositor's Word for Every Day is a publication of Jimmy Swaggart Ministries, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The Expositor Devotional is an outreach of Straight and Narrow Ministries.